Hi, everybody. Coming to you live from, I was going to say outer space, but that's not true. I'm right here on Earth, just like you probably are. Unless you're watching this from another planet, in which case, cool. Hello. Welcome. So we're going to prep. We're going to prep for Far Verona because that's what you do. You got to be ready. Errant Cavalier, hi. Hello there. Yeah, we got to be ready for the next episode. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get ready and we're gonna prep and we're gonna prep for basically like everything forward from. Why do I look so short? It's probably because I am. Everything forward from probably the next episode because I'm already ready for the next episode. The next episode's got a bit of a mystery to it. So I'm thinking probably what this is going to be is the return of Nomika forward, right? So if you're worried about spoilers, obviously there'll be some, but there'll be spoilers for a slightly further ahead point than you think. I'm not going to be giving away what is happening at the end of this little mini section. Okay? Okay, so that's the thing. There may still be spoilers. This is kind of like a spoilery zone. That's just how it kind of goes. But we're gonna get all caught up on the prep. I have some sheets to adjust. I have a relationship map to update with the new characters, and I'll just kind of walk you through like what it looks like to prep for roleplay at Far Verona, because that's a thing that I want to do. I'm gonna prep anyway. I might as well share it with you. So thanks for coming and hanging out. Let's pop over to my massive collection of browser tabs. I guess I should probably boop. There I am. Hi. So yeah, so I've got a bunch of GM prep sheets that I use. I have a little folder of various objects that I use to keep track of my GM prep. The reason that I have the first GM prep thing open is because this is where we establish kind of the overarching stuff in the campaign. So I want to be able to pop back to the beginning and see all of the various things that I thought about at the beginning and what I want to bring forward. So I'm going to be taking a look at this just to kind of get us started on the next mission. I have my Dramatis Personae list, which I need to update, obviously, and then I also have my very nice draw.io sheet that obviously we need to X off some people. I need to figure out what I'm going to do vis-a-vis showing that someone is dead. Maybe a little skull emoji. We'll see. And then I've got a new spreadsheet for episode 11 with the date. And then in case I need them, I've got my Roll20 account. I've got the Far Verona wiki. I've got the sector map. And then this was the intro music tab. I'll keep that around for the end of the stream. So yeah, that's the GM. So let's start by updating what we've already got. Okay? So here's the crew of the ship. This is what I'm using as my primary what I'm doing primarily for Dramatis Personae is keeping track of who is on the ship. Because, yeah, there are going to be characters who are off-world, right? Like family members on other planets, etc., etc. But for right now, we're gonna just sort of focus on who's on the ship. It may be that the prudence stops being important. It may be that we do a season on a particular world, and I have to create a separate thing for that. But this is for me really just a way of keeping track of who may or may not be around at any given time, sort of who I can call on. It's my like hand of cards that I can play. So yeah, that's the deal. I don't think Hong Lu is not an arc. Hong Lu was what, 8 episodes? That's not enough time to settle in. I mean like 20 episodes. I mean like this is the focus of the game, like deeply. This isn't just a mission. This is more than that. They visited Hong Lu. So yeah, it needs to be, I mean, it felt like a lot of time. Well, that's not what I'm talking about, right? Like I'm talking about story-wise, not how you felt about how long they were on the planet. And plus, that's their fault, not mine. That's their fault. I didn't do that. They just kept fucking up. So don't come at me with that shit. All right. So this is the crew sheet. Obviously, we moved some stuff around. This is the graphic representation of that, like who is connected to who. So let's update these. Let's update these. So I need to add, I guess oops. No, I need to add in, let me grab an emoji for a skull here. Skull. And we'll see if draw.io supports the skull emoji. It's part of Unicode, so that should be fine. Yeah, all right. Lamar Riley, toast. Sergeant Holtzman, toast. There were a couple of other people, but they don't matter, and they are dead, so that's fine. Jason, toast. I think 1, 2, I think that's it for dead people right now. Okay, all right. That's fine. Okay, so we need to upgrade Crux Ibanez Yancey, so he is now officially a Kriegsherr war guy. Listen, my German's not great, but that's pretty much what that means. War guy. Yeah, I think it's IE though. I before E. Something German. Okay. So, I don't think that we've had a change in rank for anybody else. Maybe Nomi when she comes back, but I mean, hair is like Mister, so it's War Mister. Don't try and tell me. Don't try and tell me. I don't care if you speak German. Okay. So let's. I know Warlord sounds cooler, but too bad. I didn't make up the rules here. I'm not Johnny Deutschland. I didn't invent this shit. I'm just playing it as it is. Okay. So what I need is to replace. So Jason no longer has any relationship with anyone because he's dead. Let's make a little corpse pile up in the corner here. It's the corpse corner. You're dead. Ghosty ghost. You don't have any relationships with anyone because you are a corpse. So Nomi needs a line drawing her to Greaves because she's in charge. Cecilia is now the pilot of the ship and reports to the captain directly. I guess this should be a one-way. Probably a one-way street. How do I change the end of the line? There we go. Okay, good. So she reports to the captain. And then we need another Vela. And this is Amira Vela, and what is her proper full name? Her proper full name is Kiran Kaur. So I will copy and paste that over. Okay. Kiran Kaur. Yeah, and this, I mean, they have a two-directional. I haven't really figured out what the arrows mean specifically. This is just they are connected. Okay. And then we'll swap and put her last name in there. Okay, there it is. Okay. Cool. And then, yeah, Holtzman, you are dead. So you also get added to the corpse pile here. Okay. So, Yancey now reports directly to the Richter and outranks Booker, which is fun. That's a fun. Yancey did great. He did a great job on that mission. The subdirector is now kind of neutral. She reports to the ship's, the owner's representative, right? So she reports to whoever this is, because technically it's a Crux commanded ship, but Eridanus owns it. Eridanus owns the deed to the ship. So We don't have that character, but the subdirector would relate to her. Anyway, the Amira is related by family to the navigator. Boop. And then I think that's it for right now. I got to figure out how to tie her into the sort of greater like stuff that's going on in the game, because I don't know. Right now I don't feel like she's super connected, which is frustrating. This is a terrible line. Just do this. There. That's better. Yeah, I got to get part of my mission today is to try to figure out a good way to tie her in to the I gotta remove. Hold on, give me a second. Remove that waypoint. Come on. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. Yeah, tie her into the ongoing like mission group, because right now Nomi and Booker are connected, but our Amira is still sort of like trying to work out what it is exactly that she does on the ship, because she's not the ship's navigator. We have one of those already. So I don't know. I gotta work that out. Okay. So yeah, I'm manually sorting all this stuff. I can move it around and be like more detailed about it later, but that's fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. So there you go. Yeah, that's a good point. I can just swap these and then redraw those lines. Boop, boop, boop. I'm going to put him down here because right now I don't need to worry about him. He's not really attached. And then Nomi reports to the Richter, not to the captain directly. Complicated. Man, these hierarchies. Okay. And then Booker is related to the chaplain, but doesn't report directly to the Richter anymore. Reports through Yancey. Yeah, this is how it's supposed to go. Okay, so yes. Okay, there you go. So this works now. So technically, if we wanted to, yeah, Nomi reports to Yancey, Booker reports to Yancey, Yancey reports to the Richter. And then, yeah, we could color these lines for family connections and stuff. Okay. All right. So these two are family. Oop. These two are family. And I guess that line should be an arrow on both ends. And then these two are related. But he's sort of becoming less important. Like, I feel like the chaplain's going to go away. Anyway, so we'll figure it out. Okay. Anyway, mostly my idea here was just to, like, have everybody on the map, not to redraw the whole damn thing. So let's just finish with that job. Okay, so I need another priest. And he is he's not a noble. I mean, he's a church asset. So he is he's not one of these colors. We need to add him. We need to add him in. So what's a good, here, let's copy Jason. And then we'll change his color. So I think, yeah, like a light yellow. Yeah, bright yellow. Yeah. Okay. Good. He is a man. And I'm just going to copy his name rather than try to write it out. It's Valencio, not Valencia. Not like the oranges. Okay, Chaplain Crusader, Valencio Gabriel. Can I fit Chaplain Crusader on one line? Yes, I can. There we go. Boop. Yeah, and I mean, this guy's technically like a mix. He's like a gradient. This is going to be disgusting. You ready? He's a gradient of purple and yellow. Like, ew. Because he's technically still like a crux, but not really a crux. So he's this. I'm gonna try to tone down that yellow a little more lemon. Okay, well, it's gross no matter what, but that's how we do. All right, so the Chaplain Crusader reports to the Chaplain Crux. It's actually kind of an okay gradient if it was like not... If it wasn't so aggressive, like if it blended a little better. Yeah, let's lighten it up. There we go. That's not bad. It's got a little like a neon kind of... yeah, I'm into it. Okay. And then, yeah. And then Crux to the Richter. Okay, perfect. I think that's good. So... I think this is the current structure. These folks are family, which means this line should be Serpent's green. So let's do that. How do I... Nope. And then all the black lines are going to be command lines. So command... And it should be from the person who is in charge to the person who is being in charged of. So from Yancey, yeah. So there you go. Because if we were to place it, it would be the person at the top with pointed lines that go down to the people below them. So this needs to be reversed. We need to flip-flop these. Yeah, everybody should point away from the captain. Technically. The captain shouldn't have any lines pointing at them directly. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because then it's sort of like a top-down, and I could structure it... I could restructure it so the captain was literally at the top of the diagram if I wanted to. So the captain and the Richter, like this, we talked about this being kind of like, so I don't know. I don't know what to do about that necessarily. This is complicated. I'm going to make this like, can I make this a dotted line? We're not really sure about this one so much. Let's go here, delete that. Let's just redraw this line. Okay. Why wouldn't it? Why would you do that? Come on. Snap points. Okay, there we go. And then we'll put a little arrow on both ends. We're not really sure about this one. Like technically the captain is in charge of the ship, but this is the guy who's really in charge. And then he's in charge of Yancey. Yancey's in charge of Booker. I think maybe this command is actually lateral. And then Nomi outranks Booker. And then Booker and the chaplain are cousins. So that's a purple line. These two I need to change. So this is a command line going in the other direction. There we go. And then these two have a flat relationship. The Richter is not in charge of the chaplain. The chaplain is not in charge of the Richter. I wonder, can I make all of these text bold? Because it's a little hard to read. Oh, that's better. A little crowded for some of these, but that's much better. Okay. All right. So cool. All right. So then I need to cap. These two are... Oh, this is a family line. Boop. And any more family that I gotta work out? I don't think so. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I need to add in, there's a couple of additional people, right, on ship. because I haven't figured out. I'm going to make extra like empty blocks for the tac ops. No, the Richter and the captain, I mean, they're technically family, but that's not as important. Yancey and Booker are technically related, but that's just because they're Crux. Booker and the chaplain, I think, are like cousins or like an aunt, like an uncle and a nephew. They're more directly like it has to be within a couple of jumps. Otherwise, all of the purples would just be connected to each other. That's why they're all purple. Okay, so I need to just make like a blank, a blank box. Why would the line be green? Why would it default to that? Gross. All right, so we have a tactical operations officer. Oh, I want this to be, there we go. Okay, we have a tactical operations officer, which hasn't hit the board yet. We have the CMO, we got that. We got the engineer, we got the navigator, we got the pilot. Oh, the owner's representative. And there's a relationship here that I think is just undetermined as yet. And then I also have Nicola, who needs to make it onto the, yeah, there she is. Okay, cool. Let's add her. So she is a lady, so I'm going to steal the Amira's text here. So she is, what did she get? Did I give her a title? Nope. I don't know what kind of Lyra she is. So Lyra, Lynn, Nicola, and she is, what color should we make her? Pink? Yeah, and she like technically reports to the captain, but she's just kind of like around. Yeah. Okay. She's stuck in my head. So there's Nicola. Okay, good. I think that makes sense. I don't think I need to work out. We don't have any other characters on the ship to kind of like work out yet. I guess there's a relationship actually between Booker and here. This is a connection. They kind of like are operating on the same team, but technically they both report to the same like person. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, I imagine Nicola has a full Nicola has a full one of these, but with varying like hotness levels, stats for bangability, etc. Yeah, I guess I can put here. Let's put in the other. This is Lyra Lilith, and they have a family line, right? Because their family line, like, I think that matters. I think it's sufficient enough of a connection. If it's enough to prevent smooching, it's enough to draw a line on here. Yeah, Yancey and Nomi. I guess here, let's make this one a. I think we'll make operating, like, there you go. That makes sense. And then I'll take the lines out of here. So it just means there's like a connection between the two, but it's sort of unclear. Yeah, that looks good. I like this. This is a satisfying looking map. Look at how Booker's like right in the middle. Booker is the Alessandra of this campaign. Like all the lines just draw to that person. The Eridonis, I don't think we ever gave them a color because they're like black, like dark gray, right? And then let's make the text white, obviously, because otherwise we'll never be able to read it. Yoip. There we go. Okay, cool. Now somebody asked about what were their names? The Arnahan, Blackman, and Hibbert. Yeah, I guess we might as well add them. I don't know anything about them. There's a Arnahan. They're all like members of the. You know what? I'm gonna wait. If they come up again, then we'll put them in. They're not really like people yet because I have no reason to like. They may never show up, but if they show up again, I'll put them on the list. Cool. Okay. Is that good? Do we have a good understanding of the pastel universe we've created? I think we have. Cool. Good. That's a good update. Fantastic. Yeah, a bunch of purple shirts. Exactly. Okay. Cool. So there's our dramatis personae. Seems good to me. I'll export this later. And I'm actually gonna move these just like down out of the way. That looks worse. Let's just keep them there. Okay. All right. So what do I need to do to be ready for this next arc? I gotta figure out like what they are doing. So far we've had them hunt down a synth. I've had them try to rescue a kidnapped noble. And we have them interrogating a synth to connect them to potentially like a larger synthetic sympathy org. So I'm kind of thinking what I want to do now, especially because we have a priest. I think it might be time to introduce or go after the church, to go after either a member of the high church who is like preaching tolerance of aliens and synths, or just go after an existing CHR priest who is becoming a dissident, right? Who's going from like, we're saying things that the high church finds unpopular to this is dangerous. They are encouraging some negative, yeah, some kind of like church reformist shit. So it's going after, I want there to be like a religious angle. I guess here, let me write my priorities here. So goals, GM goals, continue to expand on the core concepts defined in GM prep for episode 1. Introduce themes that tie the new characters to the ongoing universe campaign structure, and continue and introduce, right? And then like show off new stuff from Acheron Row, right? Expand the universe. Expand the universe. So, what and where, right? What are they doing and where are they doing that? And then how does it reinforce the themes? So remember, the themes, if we go back to GM Prep 1, the themes and concepts are the imbalance of justice, right? The nobility versus the serfs, freemen versus like indentured serfs, synths versus humans, aliens versus humans, plants versus zombies, cowboys versus aliens, alien versus predator, predator versus Batman, Batman versus Superman, Superman versus Green Lantern. So there's some options. And then some the background stuff underneath this stuff, underneath the imbalance of justice, right? Like trust, loyalty, duty, personal versus external. What happens when like this didn't come up during the Red Dogs arc, but what would happen if they found out that they were there? that the guy was killed by an Imperial assassin, right? What would they do if they found out that the Pixis died because his mother-in-law didn't want him to get married? Like, what? Right? That didn't quite come up, but I want there to be opportunities for that. Like, are we doing the right thing, or are we serving someone? Are we someone's dog? So that I think is important. So, and then lastly, real versus unreal, right? Is the law real? What's the difference between given and earned authority? What do you do with your privilege? What is a human? What isn't a human? Etc. Etc. So, yeah, maybe some space Quakers on Berkman 3. Let me take a look at what's going on Berkman right now, because Berkman's a kind of a good hotspot. Let me look. Give me one sec, because I gotta open up. I have one more doc I need. I have a document that should be familiar to you, but I gotta pop it open here and see what the hell's going on these planets. Okay, here we go. Spreadsheet. Okay, so let's see where there are CHR assets first. Places that might have CHR folk right now. Church of Humanity Repentance. So Ukiah is an option. Obviously, Kabina is like their homeworld. We're not going to go there yet. But there is a base and a demagogue. Oh, dear. CHR, if they go to Ukiah, your demagogue is like at risk because they become an NPC. So there's that. That's potentially... Who is the CHR demagogue on Ukiah? So that's certainly an option. Let's see where else we got CHR. They've got lawyers on Pilopid. But my original thought was maybe Berkman. Maybe this isn't going after an existing asset. Maybe it's preventing one. So maybe it's helping the High Church. Let's take a look at what's on Berkman. Let's take a look at Berkman. So Berkman 3 currently has a House Crux party machine. Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. That's like the host, right? They go there, and there's a party machine already in place to kind of like welcome them. Okay, and then there's the High Church. See, but there's no conflict here, because the High Church and the Trilliant Ring are like best buds. Right? Like badass cathedrals and stuff. So, I mean, we could go there anyway, right? Like shipping combine, commodities brokers, popular movement, hostile takeover. There's like the High Church is working on stuff. The High Church is working on stuff. So, but this would be like going after the populace. Okay, so this would be more like an enforcement mission rather than including the CHR. So I think that makes more sense. Yeah. Yeah. Helping stamp out some like religious anarchists on the planet. Okay. But also like keeping an eye on the High Church as a secondary. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's do this. So let's say, primary objective, but then also secondary. So primary objective is going to be to help protect Imperial interests on Berkman 3 by working with the High Church to deal with some dissidents in the serf population of that planet. Yeah. Okay. Secondarily, though, they need to keep an eye on a potentially corrupt church member who is making deals with Trilliant on the planet. So like maybe there's a church dude who, and I guess if we want to Dogs in the Vineyard this, we figure out the worst thing that's happening and we track back through it. So Here, let me look at the wiki. How much has Berkman been developed? Let's see what y'all have been up to. Berkman 3. Ooh, so pretty. It's like Utah. It literally is Planet Utah. Refuge for humans who fled the Empire during the Dark Age fearing religious persecution. Oh, yeah. It's totally like Amish and Quakers. Oh, man. I'm so into it. Okay. So it is a planet to which a bunch of pilgrims fled, and official records are imprecise. Berkman separated like 400 years ago. Ensuing political situation was intense balkanization, dubbed the Fracture. So up to about 100 years ago, citizens divided into fractious factions based on their adherence, preference, or priority for the 10 holy virtues. Right. Yeah, they're religious farmers. Okay. Major and minor houses avoided intervening. The High Church. 2 political movements. The Restoration Movement seek to bring the planet back together in a single society, but they can't get along. Unity seeks indoctrination and reassembly in the wake of the fracture. Through on its belief, disparate communities must achieve and adhere to a single universal religion. Yeah, that seems about right. The second, called reunification, is a political movement that seeks to rejoin the empire, believing security concerns. Ah, interesting. Okay. All right, so Berkman. Stuff that is important. So there are ongoing political dissent among the populace, factionalism, and independence movements. Let's see what else we got. Promote free society, reject the restoration movements, continue on with life as it is. Okay, all right. So there's like a push towards religious reintegration from the church, offering up. Yeah, it's very Dogs and Vineyard. Hey, religious and so here offering up religious and I guess like religious and secular prosperity, right? Because we've got this cathedral. We've got this cathedral on Berkman. Let me see here. I'm just copying out a couple more links. Okay. So we've got let's see, Berkman. There is the joint project between the High Church and Trilliant, a grand cathedral above the planet's surface, local infrastructure. Okay, so that's the big hover church. They've also got logistics and warehousing operations, and a commodities broker, customs and trading depot. Okay, all right, that's cool. I like that. And then there's a little bit of like, yeah, establishing the church, venture for the betterment of Berkman 3. Okay, so the three big power players. I guess we'll start a section of who. So I don't need to worry about this right now. This is just on Berkman 3. So the who is involved, right? So our who is 3 main power players on Berkman. The High Church and the Trilliant Ring. The people of Berkman 3. Okay. All right. So these are our 3 main power players. I guess the question would have to be here. What do they want, right? Like, why are they here? I guess that's the what, right? The what and why. Like, what are you doing here? Why is that? So the big thing that I often will do is try to figure out what these factions want, and then build a situation out of the conflict between those things. So the High Church wants what it always wants: conversion of the people, and through faith, their reintegration into imperial society. They want to placate any effort to avoid the, or not to return, right? To destabilize the planet. To put down any effort to convert or disrupt the populace by external enemies. CHR, UPC, Vagrant, etc. Right? So the idea here is they want to protect the planet for the Empire, right? Okay. That seems good. The Trilliant Ring, based on what I can see, and like this, the Trilliant Ring on Berkman want a profitable workforce, influence over the planet and its operation, and to protect their interests here. Berkman is a major transit hub to the rest of the sector. Okay, cool. And then the people of Berkman want a bunch of stuff, but we're not concerned with the reunifiers. We just want to focus on the dissidents, troublemakers. Okay, cool. Yeah, right. Trilliant sees Berkman as a flow through. Yeah. Cool. Okay. All right. Great. So let's talk about the situation then, because we need to serve the original goals of the section. Yeah, if you want to see where Berkman is, I believe it's right here. So as you can see, it's like a big jump from here's the Imperial, the sector core. And if you want to get down here, or if you want to get over here, Berkman and Trillia, this is the Trillian. It's the two worlds that are clustered down in this section. So if you want to get down here, you really need to jump through this section. It's also kind of like the only way to get down into Burgoon down here if you ever want to go to any of these planets. So there's a lot of potential traffic through Berkman. Berkman's tags are anarchists, which give me a bunch of different enemies, friends, complications, things, and places to use. And then they're obsessed with a massive project, something like generationally that they've been working on. So we can get these things involved in our little story. I imagine this one. I'm loath to say how long I think this is gonna take, but like in terms of sessions. But I could see this one lasting longer, like as long as Honglu, certainly. I'd like to build this one to be a longer arc by intention. No, their great work isn't the floating church. No. They're not. This is the people. The floating church is Trilliant and the High Church's like big plan, but it's not. The people of Berkman didn't build it. They don't care about that. Maybe some of them are like, hooray, that's amazing, we love it, the church. Some of them are like, God damn it, you flying priests. I'm not about that. But yeah. What is it? The Expanse where the Mormons are building a giant spaceship? It's the Expanse, right? Where they're building the giant Mormon fuck off spaceship. Yeah. I don't want to steal that, but like something like that. Yeah, the Nauvoo. Yeah. All right. So, imbalance of justice, background intrigue, real versus unreal, right? So, extremes of punishment for questionable reasons, like I want the players to come in with a clear understanding that like these people are dangerous and we need to deal with them. But then learn like, oh, they're just like farmers and people that want to like live their life. But we have to deal with them harshly anyway, right? Technically they're criminals, right? This whole thing. Maybe throw in a synth or two hiding out among the people of Berkman. Yeah. Okay. So, let me take another look here. So we know what they want. So conflict here, right? So I want there to be conflict between get out of here. Conflict between the High Church and the people. Conflict between Trilliant and the people. But there also has to be conflict between Crux and the Church Trilliant Alliance. And conflict between Church and Trilliant. Right? These are our axes of. So these are the simple one. This is the simple one. This is the mission. This is why they're on the planet. And then this is the secret mission. And then this is the like, hey, so while you're here, can you deal with this person? They're trying to form like a labor union, and we really need you to just like deal with them. Trilliant in this case is like Amazon. Right? And then conflict between the Church and Trilliant is like they're friends, but they kind of want to like there's some aspect of them that want to get over on each other. Yeah. I don't care if Crux the faction loves the Church and Trilliant. They are cops, and they are keeping an eye on their friends. That's how they work. They're not stupid. They were friends with Cygnus too. So you gotta keep an eye, keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer. And you keep your friends close in case they turn into enemies, and then they're already there. So you don't have to move. Okay, so let's put together. I need some characters, right? I need ooh, we're gonna make here. Let's do another one of these. Let's go new diagram, and this is gonna be welcome to Berkman 3.